Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Yeah, there you
Glad
go.
to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire.
And now you can unite them just with good leadership.
That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again, as did you, Sabine. His radiance.
Make even still the family squabble.
Sanbreque is naught without her citizens.
Yeah, family squabble solved. Let's go.
That. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank
Yeah, there you
you,
go. So see, we are uniting the
Now that
realm,
is
just in
settled,
like
I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are
a different way
always open
than
to
one would
any
probably
soldier
imagine.
in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed.
Indeed.
In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you.
One of
Well
us.
said,
One of us.
Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here,
And then Clive was
I should
off.
see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
Well, my job is done. Walks away. Doesn't even say bye.
Can we get you anything?
I was thinking of going back and talking to them, but no, you know what? I'm not even going to say bye. We're going to do what Clive would want. We're just going to leave. What do you have to say, Bard?
When darkness descended, the line did not break. Though full sorely tested, secure was their fate.
No, okay. Good little jingle. Do boom.
Just a little further.
Nice, he's injured. That makes
The last
sense.
one.
That's a nice looking bread. I really want to bake some bread. I know it seems really random, right? But I've had this huge urge to just bake some bread. I don't know why, and where it came from.
Of the wounded. I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
Just kind of happened one day.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Ugh.
Don't mention it.
Excuse me, sorry about
I
that.
must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Tell me.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the crystalline dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in. It fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts.
Then she took it over.
Those that could be healed.
Bloody coup.
My love was already too far gone.
That's sad.
He passed away.
That's really sad.
He did. Not long after we arrived.
I was wondering what
At
happened to
least
him.
we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know.
Yeah, so.
Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you.
Is it the hair? I bet it's the hair.
And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter.
I mean, that's true.
All united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not gonna stay here, but I'm motherfucking Sid, man. I'm always gonna be around. Vigil signboard. We got the orichalcum I needed. The emblem of the Vale. Northreach's far-famed house of Illyris Pute. The town is the gateway to the imperial capital of Oriflamme, where waves of old money and new lap against the opposing sides of the Great Wall. I got the orichalcum, which I need for sure. So I'm pretty happy about that. So that's that quest done. Do I have anything more here? No, seems not. So where to next then? Do I only have a few? Oh no, I still have quite a few quests. Okay, no, we're still good. We're still good. I mean, I think we'll go here and just kind of finish off this quest, because this should be the end of it. I think. And I feel like it's gonna be emotional. I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna be. I'm almost dead.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. Mother was truly capable.
Sorry, Joshua. We're just gonna have a very casual fight against the Kashik chocobos.
Perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made the difference.
That's very sweet commentary too, compared to like the fight we just had. Very contrasting. Down there. What? Oh, okay. I need to take a specific path, I see.
Run like the wind.
Do. Keep going this way. Did I ever go down there? I feel like I must have. It's so easy to forget how small the map actually can, or how quickly you can traverse the map. I should say. They're not small, but you can quickly traverse them. Oh, it's this. It's the grave that I tried to interact with once. I don't think it actually let me do anything with it, though. Now I know, and it all makes sense. I don't remember seeing the helmet there, though.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
Hey, Kate. Welcome back to Shrimfrendo. How you doing today?
Conspired against him. He never lost heart. Never looked back. Never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
You've been doing good, Clive.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may.
No, you may
Watch
not.
over us as we follow in your footsteps.
It's a very sweet cutscene, honestly. Oh. Oh, that's so nice.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
God, that was so good. God, that was so good. Let's see, Kate says, not bad, about to go do laundry at my aunt's house. You hate not having your own washer and dryer? Sorry, I have a thing popping up. Yeah, no, I could see it being a bit of a pain, huh? Used to be the same a long time ago when I was younger, too. We didn't have our own washer and dryer. We had to go to the laundromat. This is like ages ago. Decades. At least like 2 decades. At least 2, if not like actually, well, no, it wouldn't be 3. At least 2, maybe 2.5 decades. Anyway, Kate says, how are you? I'm doing good, thanks. A little bit tired, if I'm going to be honest, but otherwise, no, not really that bad. Pretty good. Archduke Elwyn's helm. Worn during his victorious campaign to quell the northern uprising. War is coming, my boy. We must make ready. Archduke Elwyn. Dude rip. Joining hands with Joshua. Joshua is joining Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. Why are you bringing that up now? What does that even have to do with, like, what happened? Was I supposed to come here first? In loving memory of his grace, the most righteous Elwyn Rossfield, Archduke of Rosaria, conqueror of the northern territories, shield against the scourge of the southern seas, defender of the flames of the phoenix, who kept his light burning throughout the long winter of his slumber. Now you sleep, but your flame burns still. Hey, Kitty. Welcome back to stream. How you doing today, friendo? Kate says, when does this take place? So it's like purely fictional, of course, right? And its own like contained story. It takes place in, well, throughout multiple years, really. I think right now we're in the year 876. I think 876. It's somewhere around there, right? And people do remember you. Of course people would remember you, right? I mean, not everybody would, like, necessarily remember, but some certainly would, right? Like I said, I did, Kitty did. I think Bass did when you mentioned the full username. Yeah, no, you definitely left a lasting impression, even if it was many years ago. I promise. Yeah, see. So like I say, Kate. I keep wanting. I was gonna call you Kitty, but I'm like, no, there's a separate Kitty here. But yeah, nah, people do remember. People do remember. Yeah, 5 years ago. It's crazy how much time flies, right? You know, Kate, we're actually now this is something kind of you and I talked about a little bit. I think through DMs about like how, or maybe I mentioned it on stream a while ago, but like how like time flies and people change and a lot of stuff happens in such a short amount of time. Well, Kitty here is actually going to be having a baby, which should be really, really nice. She's not going to name him Fraggin Jr., right? But yeah, actually, that's a good point. A lot happened to Kitty in the time since you last came here. Kitty got married to a cool guy. She's having a baby. It's really, really neat, actually. Like a lot's like honestly, out of everything that's happened with everybody that's been a part of the stream, Kitty's probably gone through the most changes. All for the better, mind you. Let's see. Bass says, I'm going to be kind of busy some more lurky. Perfectly fine. Thank you for letting me know. And thank you very much for the posture check and the hydrate. We'll sort both out right now. Battling morning sickness right now. It's difficult for me to smell this boiling water. I can imagine. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good posture check, actually. Oh yeah. There we go. That's right. Had to sit up straight. Felt good though. Okay, well, what am I doing? I got really distracted by myself. What are we doing? Okay, we're going and taking care. Do I? There's more at the hideaway now. I mean, oh, there's more at the hideaway. Do I want to go there, or do I want to try to sort this stuff out? I mean, I need to go there to sort out something anyway. What's this? A trial and error. Oh, I need to go there to sort out 2 things. Oh, we got a new missive. We got a new hunt. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going back. We're going back to the hideaway. We got a new hunt. We got a new missive. New quests. So we're doing it. And we can finish a couple, so that's even better.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy.
Put some sun in a tube.
Houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
I was gonna say, from who?
Why, you, my
Really?
boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty
Oh, when we
bandits.
did that set of quests.
more of a
Yeah, that's
handful.
right.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
That's pretty
Happy to
good.
hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Is that where my quest ends, or does it end here? Now I gotta go back to Port Isolde? Oh no, just gonna give me a cutscene. Nice. The Rossfield Manor.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
Here comes Quentin.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption.
Look, it's like, well,
Two
this is
such
my
firm
solution,
friends as
but
yourselves
I'm
need
sorry.
No help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding
They are good
young
friends.
gentleman.
You can tell.
Upstanding.
They never
Calls
admit it, though.
himself Sid the bloody outlaw.
Once more onto the breach.
They'll get there. They may have gotten there.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord.
Hell yeah, let's go.
What moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, Quill.
The Tri-Unity, I like that. That's a good name for it, for the Accord.
Well, my boy, the stage is set.
that it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's from the play, Sir Crandall.
I want you to keep this signed.
I couldn't remember what the name of the play was. I was thinking about that whole cutscene too.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Quest complete. Got a lot of XP from that. The Tri-Unity Accord, signed by representatives from Rosaria, Dalmatia, and San Brec. This mutual accord sets the stage for a new age in Storm, if not officially, then at least in spirit. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Byron Rossfield. And we got this one too. Ocean Seven's Clouds. I don't remember that one. Okay, sorry for not having a look at the chat that whole time. Battling morning sickness right now. It's difficult for me to smell this boiling water. But not something I'll be looking forward to if I have kids. Yeah, that's like something I don't envy a woman for. With like, carrying a baby is hard, man. That's hard.
And how the hell is Sid gonna do
Like from scratch? Oh, dude, from scratch pasta would be really nice. I've been really looking into getting a pasta maker. Been really wanting to grab one. Haven't gotten around to it yet, but I would love to grab a pasta maker. And homemade pasta is just mwah, absolute chef's kiss. Let's see. Kitty says, all right, I'm going to lay down and relax and try to get my stomach settled so it's more likely to accept food. Take care, Al. You take care, Kitty. Thank you very much for stopping by, friendo. And we'll catch you later. You rest, relax, get all nice and comfy, and enjoy your spaghetti. Because I, too, really like spaghetti. So if you don't eat it, send it to me and I will. To answer your question, Kitty, it's been life. That's a good way of putting it. A lot worse than I'd like to admit, but oh well. But I moved states and have my own apartment with just me and my kitty, so everything's happening for the best, I think. That does sound really nice. That does sound really nice. I know we kind of talked about this a bit in DMs as well, but it really sucks that you've had things be a bit rougher for you, especially as of late. But I'm sure everything will be all better in the end, right? And being in a nice apartment with your little cat, I think that's the way. That's a good way to live, right?
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I heard.
Nah, trip is all right.
Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
Never does.
No, they most certainly did not.
Does Ember deserve passing marks? I get to choose yes or no? I think he does.
Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim.
It's weird that I get to choose.
Not what we ask of our scouts.
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Nah, I don't agree.
Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
Exactly, he
With a
did.
bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to.
I like how in this world,
I'll show you. Just you wait.
like, a scout can just smell anything, basically. Or that's what they're prized for.
But his heart's in the right place.
I don't know if that's a real thing or not.
Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Nah, it should be one more quest down. How many more to go? Not that many, I don't think.
This did not play out as I expected.
Things really do these days.
So true.
But that's
so,
why we
so
need
true.
men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
Quest complete. It's almost a full level. I keep forgetting to check what we have. Okay, so pile drive, got that. I'm pretty sure we're at like 40. 47, I'm pretty sure. Let me just see here. 47, yeah, I was right. I mean, we don't have Torgal all the way up yet. Okay, Nectar, what's your deal? What do you have for me? I got 2. The Grim Reaper. Pleasant. There's a saying among the Imperial soldiers of the Northreach garrison: steer clear of the drowned tower, lest the specters sickle reap your roots. They speak in typically uncouth terms of the thrall that dwells within the Aetherflood, one whose frightful aspect and command over lesser minions would appear to mark him as a high-ranking member of his species. Then we have the Knight of the Splendid Heart. Most pilgrims to the holy capital of Oriflamme pass through the Penance Gate on the road from the Royal Meadows. Of late, however, a knight in shining armor has elected to station himself beside this entrance, accusing any and all passers-by of being Sid the Outlaw, the one who led Prince Dion down the path to destruction and challenging them to a duel to the death. That sounds like a pleasant fellow, doesn't he? So, Cape, Auris, and the Penitence Gate. Okay. Sure thing.
I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Come to claim your just desserts?
Alright, so we got this one. The Continental Acclaim. If the drunken galley captain I shared a table with last night is to be believed, word of your exploits has made its way across the seas to the great continent. What is more, she claims there are those who would see you flourish, herself being one such woman. Okay, Bess, I assume... yeah, okay, see, I was gonna say, it's kind of funny. If it's gonna cut off at, I can't believe we... That's kind of funny, actually. I got Genji Glove. I can't believe we're gonna beat death. I know, right? I'm gonna beat the poop out of death. Beat the crap out of him. So I kind of want everything, is the problem. I'll increase damage dealt to enemies in general by 5%. I mean, that's pretty good. Okay, legitimately, I don't think I really need this. It still doesn't do a ton of damage. I think overall damage is what I would rather have. Okay, now let's get a proper answer to Kitty's question, or to Kate's question. I keep thinking of Kitty now. Because like over here, we actually do have the years.
Here's the latest information I have.
So right now we are in the year 878. Is that what I said? No, I said like 867. What did I say? I don't think I said 878. Yeah, so the game has spanned like a good few years, right? So it originally started in 860. Way back here in simpler, way back here in simpler times. Then went to 873. And now we're in 878. So it's been through a bit of a time frame, right? There's been a bit of a time frame to it. Yeah, pretty cool, right?
Is ever changing, Clive.
I didn't ask her those questions that she had pop up.
Clive.
It's kind of a good point. I've been kind of ignoring her. Ask about Origin.
Well, Clive.
Are you resolved to brave the coming battle no matter the cost?
I am.
For only with Ultima's death might we ever find true freedom. And when we do, I'll be counting on you to help teach this world the truth.
Naturally.
But I'll need you to do something for me in return. Come back to us in one piece. For how am I to recount the true history of this world without a first-hand account of the heroics of those who fought to change it?
I shall.
We shall all be praying for your safe return. There you go. Easy enough,
Till
right?
next you need me.
What's this here? I'll deliver the materials to Mid. That's right. I have the other quest here too. Well, look at that. Good thing we came back. If I didn't, I probably would have forgotten to do at least Mid's thing. Because I completely forgot about that. Now she's down in her dungeon, as she calls it. Not my name for it. Not even very dungeon-like.
Mid, tell me this is all you need.
Did I read that one? Yes. I read that one too, yes.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I
course.
need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
And a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though that's
I'll get that from the kids. I think the kids have a cogwheel.
Smaller a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
Wait. The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny
See, there we
basket.
go. There we go.
Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back.
That's
together.
right.
The young'uns? But why would the... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
Man, the cog from all the way back is actually important. I didn't see that coming.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Hey, Childs.
Sid, is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine.
She needs cogwheel.
She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it?
Flying ship.
Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
You nailed it.
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales.
Ooh.
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember!
Yeah, I forgot
We
it, yeah.
saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find.
Oh, no.
All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds.
Oh,
Just
my
in
God.
case.
That's Good to know.
All the pieces that are left over, huh?
I found it.
Whoa, it's totally a
Is that all?
scale.
Just the gear?
Or the
We have
gear.
more parts
It's totally
if
the
it
gear.
needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Like little tiny dragons that
Sid.
disassemble things. Brass cogwheel. Alright. Give this back to Mid. Easy peasy. And before it's like, well, now I need the head of a dragon. So it looks cooler. Right? The wings of a dragon, even. I wouldn't be surprised.
Did they have it?
An overlooked component of Mid's deconstructed scales. Its purpose remains a mystery to all but Mid. Yeah, I don't know why a cogwheel would be in a scale. That doesn't really make sense.
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
It better.
Will it work? It's perfect. You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the right cog in the right place, well, you just wait and see.
It's like, oh, which game? Oh, is that a reference? Because there's a ship in another Final Fantasy game that looks exactly like that, I think.
Here goes nothing.
And I say that because I think I have that as a minion. No, wait, I have that as a minion in Final Fantasy 14. It's like that exact same thing. Is that a reference to that? Or is that a reference to another Final Fantasy game? I'm not too
Wasn't
sure.
supposed to fly, was it?
Huh.
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad.
Mad.
I was so sure this would be the day she soared.
Hmm.
The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other.
She's right, actually.
People will lose their homes. Children, their mums, and their dads.
Man, I didn't think it would get that deep.
Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a hard one to even answer.
First time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave.
Hmm.
And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right.
You can do it?
When this is over, I'm gonna take all my Mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
Okay, so she's not gonna make it fly.
All that hard work.
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it isn't like it'll be gone.
That does make sense.
Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Yes, I have.
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out.
It seems like a lot of effort, but you know.
I can picture it now.
I guess it makes sense.
Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
That's a good quest. That was a good quest line. I didn't expect it to get so deep at the end.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
That's a good quest. She's right too, though, right? Because like even in real life here, when planes were invented, I think it only took them what, like, because when were planes made? When did planes become a thing? When did humans first fly? Was that in like 1912? Was it 1912? 1910? Unless it was 1910. And then you think about it, right? Only a few years later, they were literally used in one of humanity's like biggest wars. So it's kind of true. It really doesn't take long to turn something like that into a weapon of war, you know? Mid's dangerous dream of flight, immortalized in a miniature. My dad always said there are two ways of living life: chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. That's actually a good quote. I like that. Like, those are actually some good words to live by, you know? Like in real life, right? We have another quest up here now? Man, this is giving me tons. That is a good quote, yeah, right? I wish that I could live a life where I could leave behind a puzzle trail. That would be pretty neat, right? I'm sorry I'm not saying much. The music is just really nice. I just really like the music in this game. Okay, it's really, really good. Now, I do want to take this quest, but I think we're going to do some reading at Tome's place. We're going to read at Tome's place. Gonna see how much more we need to get from him to finish up the lore.
Good morrow to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's about Origin.
Ah, yes.
You have arrived at a solution then? Dion will carry us.
Indeed.
A feat befitting the final act. I congratulate myself that I shall live long enough to see it. A feat in itself for a man of my years. But to be serious, it is no small thing to march against fate, Clive. You must be certain of your footing, lest the winds of destiny divert you from your course. Are you certain of your footing, Clive? I am.
Then go.
And do what you must. I also wish to view the 1,000 tomes, please.
I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them.
Level 8? Ah, not quite.
What subject shall we consider today?
Oh, we only have a little bit here to read through. So the airship. Okay, yeah, we did read that one. Legend has it that the people of the Fallen once sailed through the skies in the bellies of these ships, though all now lie shattered and silent on the surface below. The Invincible, in which Clive and his allies have built their new hideaway, being one such relic. So advanced was the Fallen's technology, it was nigh indistinguishable from magic, leading a historian of the early modern era to remember them as the Mene of Magitech or something. Or Men of Magic, I guess. Magitech. Or Men of Magical Technology. It is Mid's dream to bring this technology back to life, that humanity might take flight once more. More Akashic stuff. The irreversible change brought about by a living being's overexposure to aether. Creatures are stripped of any intelligence or sense of self they may once have had, and become suffused with life force, usually manifesting as extreme strength and aggression. Ultima's casting of Primogenesis turned much of mankind directly, gifting Barnabas his Akashic army, and with the despair they wrought, he sought to strip the wills of the rest, making them in his eyes pure. In his Akashic army, huh? That's it for the mysteries of the realm for now. Do we have any other yeah, here we go. Saratina. A humble settlement situated on the far northern edge of western Dalmacia's Valkyrie Desert. Though long abandoned by its original residents, the so-called League of Outlaws had taken up residence here for a time, but the sudden arrival of an aether flood rendered the bandits Akashic, all but sealing the village's fate. Still have a few lay of the lands, huh? The Triunity of 878. An alliance formed by Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses in the comfort of his well-appointed mansion in Port Isolde. According to the agreement reached between those he summoned to his aid, Lord Rossfield would take charge of supplies, Field Marshal Eugene Havel of military affairs, and Quentin of Losswing would handle political affairs. With these key angles covered, they hoped to lead Valestia forward on a path of unity, given their home countries of Rosaria, Dalmacia, and San Brec, respectively. The name of the famed treaty of old all but suggested itself. Wait, what? Respectively, the name of the famed treaty of old all but suggested itself. Okay, fair. I see what it's saying. That one took me a moment. A unit drawn from those of fighting age and martial training among the residents of the Hideaway, who conduct operations to liberate bearers from slavery. Beginning in Sid's Hideaway, the Order has greatly expanded both its ranks and its operations since the move to Benimir. While Otto manages their activities, day-to-day operations are led by Doris and Cole, apparently. Potential new recruits must undergo rigorous training and pass an induction test before joining the Cursebreakers' ranks. I missed another thing here. Which one did I miss? I missed you. A town which once acted as a defensive gateway to San Brec's holy capital of Oriflamme. Not long after the skies took a turn for the ominous and most of the old capital was lost to an aether flood, the Imperial High Cardinal arrived with designs to build a new empire, and at great cost to the citizens of Northreach. It was at this time Ultima's thralls descended upon the fields. Is it another scam call? Probably. Okay, I'll just turn that one off. It was at this time Ultima's thralls descended upon the fields, both north and south of the Great Wall, forcing those citizens to choose between abandoning their town or fighting and possibly dying for those they loved. The people chose the latter, and after a hard-earned victory, the High Cardinal was finally convinced to join hands with Madame Isabel, and a modicum of order was at long last restored. There's another one that I missed here. Oh, this one. How did I miss so many in here? A literal oasis, Dalimil offers goods, food, and respite to those travelers who make the long march through western Dalmacia's sweltering Valkyrie Desert. Since the fall of Drake's Fang, however, there was once a constant flow of visitors, or what was once a constant flow of visitors, has dried to all but a trickle, leaving the town in dire straits and tensions amongst its citizens high. When faced with a horde of Akashic bandits beating at both their gates, yeah, north and south, that makes sense. Lubor, renowned blacksmith, convinced the guard and its league of, I don't know why I'm having trouble reading this one. I don't get it. Renowned blacksmith convinced the town guard and its league of merchants to put aside their differences and join hands to fight for their people's survival. For his accomplishments, he earned not only the respect of his peers, but with it the position of mayor, despite being a bearer. I'm gonna have me a sip here. Maybe my lips are just getting dry again. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, now I should be able to read properly for at least a little bit. Clive's faithful friend. After the two were separated in the tragedy at Phoenix Gate, Torgal continued to search for his missing master, sniffing out anything that bore Clive's scent and carrying it home to their secret Highland hideaway. It was during one of his forays on the mainland that he encountered Cid, who took the lonely Torgal in, fashioning an anklet for the lovelorn pup, which he treasures to this day. Good guy, good boy Torgal. He's so good. A curse breaker in training who wishes to make of himself a scout, that he might follow in the footsteps of his idol, Gav. Though his test did not proceed entirely smoothly, he showed enough promise to warrant being accepted into the ranks. For now. And Midderal Telamon. Adoptive daughter of Cid, who saved her from the streets as a girl and raised her as his own. And raise her as his own he did. The young Mid following in her father's footsteps and perfecting his design for the Mithril engine. Though she fears the completed engine might be used for ill if the designs were to fall into the wrong hands. The dream of flight that she and her father shared is too great to see co-signed to the destiny of history. So she continued to labor that one day that dream might become a reality. The inscrutable landlord of Lost Wing's Tavern. After the village was swallowed by an aether flood, he and the survivors of his Lost Wing family labored to build a new village in Gultland's Bales. Or Gulton's Bales. However, Clive convinced him to join his uncle's triunity and put his oratorial skills to use, not merely in leading Lost Wing, but in restoring order to the entire realm. Yeah, oratorial skills. There's something about that that's, to me, a bit hard to say. I don't know why. Oratorial skills. Alright, that'll do though. Forge Master of the Briar's Kiss, the finest smithy in Dalimil and mayor of the town. After his bearerhood was revealed, he was almost driven from Dalimil by the disapproving townspeople. However, they were convinced to change their preconceptions after Lubor led the defense of the town from a horde of Akashic bandits, and with the support of both the town guard and the Merchants Guild, he won the mayoralty. I've never seen it pronounced that way or spelled that way. Late Archduke of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria and father of Clive and Joshua. During his reign, he strove to bring an end to the mistreatment of bearers and his people's reliance on magic. A mission that he knew would meet with fierce opposition from the court of nobility. It would not be achievable within his lifetime. That his sons might follow in his footsteps, he fashioned for them a pair of matching armbands to give them strength when all stood against them. Younger brother of the late Archduke Elwyn and Warden of Port Isolde. Together with Field Marshal Eugene Havel and Master Quentin of Lost Wing, he founds the Triunity, an accord that sets out how the nobles, armies, and common folk of Alessia shall come together to see the crises. That was crises. I thought crises was the plural. That blight the realm. Want of food, water, security, and shelter ended, and order restored. First and foremost of the 5 cardinals who made up the Council of Elders, second only to the Holy Emperor in the imperial government. After the fall of the Crystalline Dominion and the collapse of said government, His Eminence reappeared in Northreach, planning to turn the town into a new capital for a new Sanbreque. However, when the people rallied behind Isabel instead, he realized that he must work with the common folk, not lord over them. Only daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who fomented revolt against her father's plans to fortify Northreach at the people's expense. After the Duke is convinced of the error of his ways, the two are reconciled and pledge to work together with the people of Northreach to build a town for all her citizens. Eugene Havel. Former Field Marshal of the Dalmatian Republic, at the insistence of his old friend and rival Byron Rossfield, he was convinced to return to the front lines in the defense of the realm, using his old military connections to bring the dissipated armies of Alessia back under control. I missed one, but where? But where, oh, where did I... This one, Isabel. That makes a lot of sense. Proprietress of the Vale, Northreach's foremost house of ill repute. Before coming to Northreach, she was Carla, courtesan to the nobility in the Crystalline Dominion. However, she was forced to flee when she fell in love with a bearer. The Vale took them in, and though her love was not to survive, her gratitude to the people of Northreach lives on to this day. Yeah, good lore, good lore.
Did you learn everything you needed?
I don't know why my jaw feels weird now too. Man, I just feel like I'm falling apart today. All right, let's go ahead and get this from Gav.